football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer, whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. It is Cody, Thad, and Robert here today. A little Sunday morning pod. The Cesar Inga saga has come to an end. Thad, what a roller coaster that was. We've got that to talk about. We had some coaching hires. Finally filled that out. One of those I really like. And then we got the news about some teams coming to Kansas City for the World Cup. So plenty to get to today. Let's start off with Cesar Inga. Thad, what happened there? It's finally done. He is not going to be a Sporting Kansas City player. So I guess we don't need to spend too much time on it. But man, this was a crazy situation.
Yeah, it was a toss, turn, topsy, whatever, however you want to describe it, man. Roller coaster, just weirdness. But I don't think it's really that much different than a lot of other ones that happen. We just don't usually hear about them as much because Sporting keeps rumors to a minimum, all that stuff. This one does seem a little bit weirder because it was a third or fourth party, however you want to say it, that canceled this. Because some other team owns part of his transfer fee, and they're like, well, that's not enough. We're not getting enough. And
right. Yeah, that's what was wild to me. It's like a fourth team down the chain is the one that did this.
Yeah, so if like Genk ever sells Caden Pierre and we say no, you can't do it because we won't get enough money out of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that would just be crazy.
Well, the thing is, this is the second one, guys. Rogers.
I know.
Debacle as well. So yeah, interesting times.
But again, that's not on Sporting. A lot of people are like, oh,
Yeah.
Sporting's in shambles because of these two things, but that one was totally on the other team.
Yep.
This again, I know you could say like, well, it's the way Sporting always works, but these aren't the same people. This is not even remote. Like, this is a completely new organization for the most part. It's not.
And as you said, it's not how Sporting normally works. Like, we don't normally get this much information about all of this.
So it's I don't know. I just don't want to like, oh, this is like Sporting and they always suck and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that they're going to start the season with a very slim roster.
Right.
That they will keep building it.
Well, I mean, when you said that about people who use this as an example of Sporting KC in shambles, I don't know about just failing to get these two guys show that, but there's an argument that kind of what you were just indicating there. This roster is still a little questionable. There's been a lack of players brought in, maybe less so than we were all expecting, and so maybe that's why people would say they're in shambles.
That's a more fair one, but again, they're starting from scratch. You just remember over the last couple of years when people would say fire Peter, get rid of Vermees, right? Vermees out or whatever. And I said, I don't necessarily agree at that time, or I did or whatever, but as soon as you get rid of Vermees, you're going to have a year and a half of pain because of how embedded he was, how many people will be gone, how much change there will have to be. Bringing somebody in, they're going to try to change every single thing. They don't want like holdovers too much. And that's what we're in the middle of right now. I would say we're past the middle, but it's part of that pain.
Robert, how are you feeling in the midst of that painful stretch that we're weathering the storm right now?
Well, yeah, I agree with that. Certainly that it was always going to be painful when we have a regime change. My hope is, and we don't know really because, highlight films, we're not going to see this player here, but I'm hoping the talent identification has improved with the current regime, but
that's fair.
That's just my opinion.
But okay, so in fairness, I think it will and has, but to a certain extent it hasn't, because I've not heard of any new scouting hires or any of that stuff. The analytics department, the scouting department, last time I talked to David Lee, I forget the exact time, but that's a 12-year or 12-month, 14-month process. It's not happened yet. And I know in one presser he basically said they went to an outside consulting people to help bring in some of these players because they didn't have the staff to do it. I mean, the scouting staff was like one guy in Eastern Europe and Jacob Peterson. Who we love Jacob Peterson. He's an amazing guy. I love him. But his focus was supposed to be college and lower divisions in the U.S. That was supposed to be his focus, not outside backs from good leagues in South America.
Well, that was my question. You're referring you were saying past tense there, as in he's not there anymore?
No, he is.
Okay.
I saw him at the last presser. I saw him after that. Just said hi to him.
So, guys, we just need to put a bug in Jacob Peterson's or David Lee's ear that we have 3 ready, willing, and mostly able guys here ready to do scouting for them. We're set.
Okay, I already threw my name in there.
Did you? Okay.
After the last presser, because I asked him a question that he wouldn't normally get. Because I asked him about the P1 visa for Wiki that he wouldn't be able to coach right away. And after the presser, he's like, nobody in New York would have asked that question. They wouldn't have known to ask that question. I'm like, yeah, I kind of know the rules. I kind of understand the rules. And we were talking a little bit, and I made some joke, and he's like, well, maybe you should be going out looking for these players. I said, I'm willing. I'm ready, man.
Hey, give us access to whatever computer program that these guys use that feeds all these players from around the world. That would be a lot of fun. If I had that, if I had a list someone was showing me, that would be a lot of fun. I could just pour through all these players around the world.
Yeah,
but I don't know that I could go find them myself, Thad.
I know. There was a point where I had thought about applying for a job. I don't even know if I was going to get paid for this job, but I wanted the access to that database. So I thought about doing that. It would have been a job scouting the team that this team was going to play next. So that would have been fine. I would have probably spent too much time doing it and not done anything else.
I'm interested in that. I don't even know for sure that there is some program, but there has to be, right? I want to know this database. I want to know about this company and how players get submitted to it.
They just track everything. It tracks everything, man. There's video. Like you could go to, I think it's Sports Track is one of them. You go to it, put in outside backs coming up the end of contract, left-footed, right-footed, this, that, the other thing, and it gives you all these, and then you can go, oh, this guy sounds interesting, and you can break down plays. You can see, like, I don't know if it's whole portions of the game or just his portions of the game, but
well, see, there you go. You just said you were ready to do this for free. Just get on there, do some research, send old Rafa some players.
I'm willing to do it. I'd be willing to do some of that for free, but the access to that is not free.
Hey, I am ready to travel the world and look at players and analyze them. I would love that. Bring the wife along. She can do whatever. Yeah.
Well, Robert, you've been writing the player tracker articles. You're monitoring the U.S. national team player pool. So thank you for doing that.
Right.
As I was throwing it to him, we lost him.
I actually pretty good at it. I don't know. Maybe
I know that was a little weird. I actually hit mute on my microphone to drink some tea so I wouldn't make noise, so you wouldn't hear a slurp sound. And Robert went away. Did I do something? Because we're doing this a little differently than we've done some in the past. But I know I didn't do that.
Testing out a new program here.
Yeah, new to us.
Well, so one thing I was about to get to here that he wanted to talk about was Lewandowski. There's a rumor about Lewandowski, Thad. I think it's more fun to we can just sit here and dream for a little bit rather than it is realistic. But have you heard about this rumor?
Just what people posted on Reddit and elsewhere.
Which is what exactly?
Supposedly there's interest from 3 teams, or maybe he's a match for 3 teams. I haven't put too much emphasis on looking at it because I just don't think that's a good Sporting fit at the moment. He's a great player, but Sporting already has a great 9.
So I saw that, and I hadn't seen the teams listed, and I was always just assuming we were not listed among it. But I'm having trouble deciding if these articles are writing it as in it would be a good fit, and it's just a sports writer's idea that it might be a good fit, or if there's actually some sort of discussion here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it listed Chicago, Sporting, and LAFC.
Yeah.
So I know. And
Sports Illustrated has also thrown in Vancouver Whitecaps. So I don't actually know where any of this is coming from, but hey, Sporting Kansas City has a knack here for getting our name in the ring for any big names.
I think Sporting gets used a lot as a potential target just because everybody knows we need people, right? I don't think that's a very analytical look at what we need.
No, it is not.
I see Roberts joining back up, or trying to. Yeah, I don't see that being a great fit. We have Dayon, and yes, they need another 9 type player, but unless Wiki plans on playing with 2 up top, which he could be, and that would be a big money spend, which the new guy has said he was willing to do.
Yeah, so that leads me into my next point here for our first segment, which is we've already talked about how we're kind of running out of time here. Roster's a bit lean. We were expecting a bit more movement, and we are getting down to the wire. So if there is one position that you could bring in right now, if we have time for one signing, Thad, what is one position that would be the most impactful that you think that they need to bring somebody in?
Center back.
Boom. There it is.
Some other defender,
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a center back.
You have Jansen and Ian James, and, there's some trialists that are there that have played center back, but again, there's a reason that they're not with the team right now.
Yeah.
They have MLS experience. And I'm not saying they're bad. It's just that there's a lot of players in this world who are good players, just need to move on to get another opportunity or just different look or whatever. So,
And that's not to say, looking around the rest of the field, that they don't need more, that they don't need more in the midfield and wingers and things like that. It's just, I'm looking at it now, and it's, man, if we're going to put together like halfway competitive team, they need some reinforcements there at center back.
Yeah. So Robert's back. We were talking about Lewandowski the whole time you were gone.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Not going to happen, is it?
Well, I mean,
Okay, good. You're with us then. And we were just saying how it's really not even a fit, but it's just kind of fun to dream, and that somehow Sporting gets thrown into the mix with all these big name players.
But center back is your answer to the question Cody posed. I mean, we all know that defense, right, has been the Achilles heel of this team for, 5-6 seasons maybe. So center back, that's a good answer. I'm not sold on Bartlett as a holding midfielder at this point. I think he's got the potential, but if we're going to go with what we have in preseason, which is Manu, Jake, and Jacob Bartlett in that midfield, good enough to be mid-table MLS, not playoff MLS in my mind. If we want to reach that next level, we need a player in that holding mid that can help bring us to that next level, and Bartlett's not that right now. But the then question is, right, how is he going to get there if he doesn't get minutes? I think we can still give him enough minutes to help him get there, but it depends what our goal is for this season. I mean, we want to win, of course, but
I'm with you.
At the end of this season,
I'm with you on Jacob Bartlett. I don't know that midfield you described is a mid-table midfield in Major League Soccer. I think, like you said, I do believe in him, and I think he could keep getting better, but we haven't necessarily seen that. It's still dependent on him continuing to grow. And even if it's close to mid-table, like the point I was making about, I think we just need a center back to put a competitive team on the field, or it's going to be very long, and it's not going to matter what the hell else is up the field.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that point of view for sure. Midfield probably is more advanced, if that's the right term, than our back line is at the moment. And I have to agree with that. I mean, that's hard to debate.
It's kind of weird to think that the line that we need to help on the least is the forward line.
What a world we live in.
I mean, it's just crazy. There's still help needed everywhere, right? I mean, you could still use a good winger, somebody else who can play 9. I think they're probably settled at midfield for right now, quite honestly, because there's just too much else to focus on. And I don't want to say settled as in they're not going to try to improve, but all their focus really needs to be on the back line and maybe an extra winger at this point, in my opinion, and kind of from what I've talked to other people. So, I don't know. Lewandowski, can he play center back? He's good in the air, I think. Is he good in the air?
He can get his head on the ball.
Yeah, so Ian James can coach him on how to play defense.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what he would come to America for, yeah.
Well, Thad, they just hired some new coaches, so there should be someone on this staff that can teach that would be able to teach him how to play defense. So we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the coaching staff.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Selling your car shouldn't feel like a second job. It should feel easy. With Carvana, it is. Just visit Carvana.com, enter your license plate or VIN, answer a few quick questions, and get an offer in minutes. Like what you see? We'll pick it up right from your door and hand you your check. No haggling, no hassle, no problem. Car selling made easy on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
All right. Thad, those hires have slowly started to come in. I was in a panic the last time we did a podcast. You had set the stage in previous shows about how there's really no one that was hired for this front office. They had to hire everyone in every department. And finally, those hires have been coming in. We got some coaching staff here. Robert, you want to run us through the official Sporting Kansas City coaching staff this year?
Yeah, of course we have head man Rafa Wiki, as we've known for a little bit anyway. Edu Rubio.
Great name.
Yes, yeah. I mean, first time I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, Diego Rubio? No. Anyway.
Great name. Got some Premier League chops under him, so.
Yeah, West Ham, Wolverhampton, Palace. He's been assistant coaches with them. And
he's got something that nobody on this pod has. Great hair.
And then you've got, this is a big one for me. I mean, I like Rubio's addition, certainly, but Kinnear, Dominic Kinnear, longtime rival of ours, actually, San Jose, Houston. He spent time at LA Galaxy and Cincinnati as assistant, so he hasn't dropped off the MLS, radar, if you will. He's been right into the thick of Cincinnati and the Galaxy, and, he's a coach that has a great pedigree.
Yeah, it's been
younger guys, I think.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he's been a head coach, but yeah, LA and Cincinnati as an assistant, so he's been a part of some successful clubs.
Yeah, and then love to see Roger Espinosa back, of course, because we know what he's good at as well, just bringing the team together, especially the young guys, bringing them along. And then we've got Ash Wallace, who's been with the club for a while now. And then Thad, you can talk more about the goalkeeper coach, because it's a name you knew, but I don't know if that's the one that you brought up to Sporting when you were guessing or not.
Well, it wasn't the Sporting. It was somebody from outside the organization.
Oh, okay.
And they kept saying, I know who it is. And at one point I said, the 2-team coach? And they said, no, you know who it is. And I don't know if they misunderstood what I said or something, but Darren McLeod, I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it. He's a good coach. I like him. I think he'll do well. And I think, he's some really tall shoes to fill from Dufty being there before, but I think Darren will do a good job.
How long was Dufty there?
Several years. I don't remember how long. It's been a while, though. Dufty had like the hardest shot in the entire organization, too. I mean, we constantly joked about he needs to be signed, and if you need to bring him in to take PKs or something at the end of a game, he could fill in a keeper, obviously, if you needed him to, but bring him in to take PKs. That guy had a blast, man.
So Thad, tell me, what do you think about the overall opinion of this coaching staff? They're leading us into this season.
I think overall it's pretty decent. I don't know much about Edu Rubio. He's been an assistant at places, but I don't always take like, oh, you've been an assistant with an EPL team, that means you're good. That doesn't. There's a reason he keeps moving, right? I'm not saying he's not good. I just don't know. I don't have a lot of knowledge of him. I've tried listening to some interviews, and I just didn't get through a whole lot of that. Kinnear, I really like the fact that he's there. He's somebody who I think was brought up when they were looking for a head coach, and I'm like, no, I don't want him as a head coach. As an assistant coach, man, he brings so much knowledge and experience, and I think he's going to be an absolutely outstanding interim coach when they fire Wiki next year.
I actually really like that prediction.
Thad, this is why some people ask, why do you hate us? This is why some people ask that question.
I don't. No, I kind of say that as a joke. I wish Wiki success, but because I'm still not 100% convinced that he's the best option to coach this team. But just like, like when you're young and you get married and you get a starter house and you get that first house, and then after a while things go well, then you go to a bigger house or a better house.
I'm a millennial, so I don't know any of this.
Well, I'll find a better analogy for you at some point, but I'm just
And I'm on the opposite trend, Thad.
Yeah, no, I know. But you're a newlywed. So, Wiki could be just the coach that we need right now to coach a young team and get them better. David Lee's not going to be afraid to move on. They gave him a 2.5-year contract, so he's not going to be a great financial loss if they fire him after the mini season next year, because they'll have that mini season at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I think he gets that time clearly. He should, to be fair, because it's going to take him a while to get a full team and all that stuff. I wish him success. I want him to be successful because I want Sporting to be successful. Until I'm convinced that he's a great coach, then I'm just going to be honest. I don't know if he is. So that's my half joke that Kinnear will be a great interim coach when they look for the next coach.
Well, you said Rafa Wiki might be the coach we need right now. My question is he coaching right now?
No, he's not. As of 2 days ago, I asked, and Dominic was there, so Kinnear probably may coach this preseason game against Chicago.
And Roger, too.
Yeah. And so, because Roger and Ash were like really the only two coaches that were officially there. Other people might have been there previous to this, just they hadn't announced, because they wanted to announce all the coaches at one time. So Kinnear could have already been there. I'm sure Darren was already down there coaching them because he didn't have a 2-team to help coach before that anyway, so he was there. So anyway, Ash Wallace, he's not like somebody most people know, but every time I've ever talked to him, which has only been a few times, but I like him. I think he's a good guy. I think he started off with some technical side stuff, and then technical being like scouting or some of that stuff. But anyway, he eventually worked his way into being a regular coach out there.
Well, what I like about the staff is, you talked about Rubio moving around as different EPL teams, assistant coach. We don't know why. It could be personal reasons, whatever. But anyway, and I really like this about Kinnear as well, is that you get different points of view as you go to different clubs and different ideas and different thoughts. And, even an old dog like Kinnear, being an assistant at Cincinnati and LA Galaxy, getting new ideas, new thoughts, new perspectives from, the new generation of head coaches, if you will. So I really like the broad experience that this staff brings, whether they mesh together, whether they're the right fit, I don't know. But it's their broad experience, which, let's be honest, we haven't had for a long time. I mean, Vermees, good experience. Zavagnin, Z, sure, but not very broad in their experience. So I like that.
Yeah, the old staff had the benefit of like being in one place for a long time, but they also had the detriment of being in one place for a long time.
Yeah,
it's a two sides to the coin, two-edged sword, however you want to say it.
For sure. But I do, referring to our previous segment plus this one, would Vermees be an upgrade at center back right now? We could just bring him back as a center back.
Dude always stayed fit.
Yeah, there's fit and there's game fit. And the last times I saw him out there mixing it up, it was good for a minute or two.
So when I was Googling Greg Kinnear, his name just fell out of my head. When I was Googling Greg Kinnear, I stumbled upon an old picture of him, and I was not familiar with his game.
Greg Kinnear? He was an actor, man. I mean, he's had some great experience as an actor. I mean,
you had to let me go.
I think I just saw him as a coach in something too. Quite honestly, he was coaching something like some sports movie.
You saw me struggling and let me go anyway.
So Dominic Kinnear. Yeah, he had some great hair.
So, yes, Cody, thoughts, or do we want to talk about the Chicago scrimmage yesterday with Sporting?
Do we want to talk about it?
We don't know a whole lot. We know lineups. We know the final score. We can go through that if you want.
They make it so we really don't have a lot to talk about.
You're right.
If you were them, would you do something different?
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Wouldn't you want to get people talking? Unless it's bad.
We'll talk. I'm sure somebody will probably write up a whole analysis of the preseason game, right? I'm kidding. Chad did the first one, and I know he likes to do these just to have something out there. So credit to Chad. Thanks for doing the content. But yeah, I mean, there's just not much. If I was sporting, I would I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm not gonna go to the expense and all the work to stream a preseason game. 2, there's so much unknown about this right now. Like, again, you wouldn't want Rafa Wiki to be seen standing next to somebody while they're playing a game, because it would assume that he was coaching and he was working when he can't, right?
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera. All these little things. So I don't blame him one bit for doing this. And then if Ian James next to Wyatt Meyer looks shambolic in giving up a goal, you don't want to entice the fans anymore to say, "Oh my God, they're terrible."
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Jansen
That's
Miller's
true.
been demoted to the second team already. I mean, that's big news.
No, it's not. People make a lot out of these lineups, and
Yeah.
Jansen may have had a knock, so that's why he wasn't in the first game. And then this one, he just came in. It's not a big deal yet,
Nope.
but I think now if I'm looking at this, Ian James probably is the number 1 starter at this point with the team that they have right now. Does that
Wow.
scare you?
Yeah, a little bit.
There'll be more players. There will be more players. I don't know when.
I mean, guys, in the bigger picture, and this is my take, I see these other clubs making these additions that seem more significant. They've got a better pedigree, or they're a 21-year-old upcoming at a smaller club and, have really shown well. It's just scary to see what these other teams are doing and then what we're doing. But, I have faith.
I have faith in David Lee to put a good team together. I don't know that he will be able to do that in the next short amount of time. It's going to be a build. It's going to be a process. I hate that phrase, trust the process. Sometimes the process sucks, right?
Yeah.
But I have faith that David Lee is going to build a good team. I don't know that it's going to happen in the first half of this season. I hope so. I want him to. I think he will. Maybe, probably, kind of, sort of put a good team out there. They just need a couple players. They just need 3 good players right now. That's what they need to be able to be a decent team. They need about 8 more to make it a good team.
That audience is the sound of a man talking himself into something.
I'm trying not to be too negative or too positive. So I will swing kind of from the negative to the positive to the negative, and just trying to be honest though.
We'll be right back. All right, we have 4 teams, 4 nations coming to the Kansas City area for the World Cup. Argentina, the Netherlands, England, and Algeria are all coming to this area. 3 legendary fan bases. Thad, how pumped are you for this?
Very. I'm just actually surprised because it sounds like England will be at Swope, which is what I've
Yeah.
heard.
That's really surprising to me. I was not expecting a team of that caliber to land there.
I know. I thought that would be like the Algeria type team, but
Yeah,
I guess, being there is closer to some really good hotels, and
Is it?
well, are there some good hotels down at the Plaza?
I would almost just say they were prioritizing the location of the city over the facilities. Like they.
Oh yeah, no, yes, absolutely. Because if you look, their games aren't even that close.
I know.
There's 3 games, 1 in Dallas and 2 on the East Coast. But I think if you look at the knockout rounds, that makes more sense for them at that point. And
Yeah,
they
they're
won't have
planning
to
ahead
fly.
for the knockout rounds for
Yeah.
sure.
Plus, if it's not going to happen, but Argentina or Netherlands gets knocked out, they could always bump up to the next level training
Right.
site. But I mean, Swope's good. They got a lot of fields. They have controlled access. They don't have the cryo pools and all that stuff that
Yeah.
the training center for Sporting does. Current have some of that, not to the level that Sporting has, but they have some of that. But I'm sure that they will do if it's true, which is, I've heard some of this stuff too. Part of it, I didn't want to say some of this stuff because NDAs get violated and teams go, screw you, I'll go somewhere else. I don't know. because I'd heard Netherlands going to the current like a week ago, like before that tweet came out. But the person also said, "Don't you say it, because it could screw shit up." So I did.
Yeah. All the local news stations were running with this, so it felt safe to me to run with it.
Yeah, right now, I mean, I'm going to talk about it because it has been out. I just didn't want to be the one to violate an NDA somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not confirmed, as far as I know, correct?
No, they still, the requests are in. FIFA could say, no, you can't do it. But I don't know why they would tell Argentina, Netherlands, or England they couldn't do something.
Yeah.
And so the requests are Argentina at Pinnacle, Netherlands at Current, England at Swope, and Algeria in Lawrence. Is that right?
Yeah, Rock Chalk Park.
Okay.
Compass Minerals, not Pinnacle.
Man, seriously though, those 3 fan bases are maybe the 3 that I would handpick to have the most fun in Kansas City during the World Cup.
Right.
Like, just as the 3 fan bases that would liven the place up as much as I could possibly imagine. So I'm really pumped for this.
Well, I don't know. You could add Brazil or...
Yeah, maybe Brazil, but I'm Argentina. That's yeah.
Yeah, a couple of the African teams would definitely liven it up. I just don't know they would have the amount of travelers, but they would have some.
But you got to have the Netherlands in there, right? Like, those are some crazy MFers.
Was it Netherlands fans that was in the Spider-Man movie?
Was it? Oh yeah, actually, I think you're right.
I mean, they were wearing orange, if I remember right. So I'm not totally
also,
sure.
and I'm only just now that I'm saying all of this out loud, remembering the animosity, and that's putting it nicely, between Argentina and the Netherlands in that last World Cup. I forgot about that entirely.
Oh, and Argentina and England's fought a war before, so.
England's fought a war with everybody.
Live, but you know.
Yeah.
They've also fought a war with us too.
They've been friends, they will again, whatever.
Okay, cool. I'm excited for this. You guys have plans for the World Cup? Robert, I know you're going to be working a lot of it as a volunteer. I'm going to be out and about.
Crossed.
I'm hoping to be wandering around the city. I want to be walking downtown. I'm going to be using the streetcar more. I want to run into all of these people on the street.
So you going to do like live man on the street interviews?
Ooh, good idea. That's a good idea.
You know, take your phone, pretend you're one of them.
And do we want to review the current Kansas City current players' performance in the friendly versus Paraguay yesterday?
Yeah, there we go. There's a positive thing we can end on.
And we'll probably do another pod just about the national team stuff in a few days. But yes, I think that's a really good idea, Robert.
Lady Yanks did some shellacking.
Yes, 4 goals in 13 minutes after halftime. But yeah, the current had 4 players start that match. We had Izzy Rodriguez in the back. We had Lola Labonta and Claire Hutton in the midfield. And we had Ali Sentnor starting up top.
See, you guys have been all bummed out about the way things have been going for the current. This would seem to indicate things are still quite good.
The players are good.
There you go. That's the bottom line, right?
Not always.
But Sentnor, what? I mean, has it been tradition pretty much that she performs pretty high level and has some good, scores a lot of goals for the national team, but the club level doesn't translate so much to that? Would that be an accurate statement? Because yesterday she got a brace.
I would say it's accurate, but also slightly misleading. Because she's with the national team. Obviously, there's a lot of good players around her. And at one point last year, she was a leading scorer for the U.S. Senior team. Emma Hayes has been doing a lot of taking players and the younger players and putting them on the U23 team and different players on the senior team and swapping them around. This was a team that had a lot of the U23 type players on it. Very few caps. They had the starting lineup yesterday had average less than 10 caps. Claire Hutton went into that game with 11 caps and was like the 5th most capped player on the entire team, on the entire roster yesterday. So a lot of young players. But yeah, Ali Sentner was with Utah in the NWSL. Not very good. She was their leading scorer for a good chunk of that, though. When she came over to the current, I think it was a great trade to pick her up for future. But she was also kind of playing a little bit more back than what she did sometimes, and she also wasn't the go-to person, so she didn't get as many goals.
Yeah.
Well, or none. But it almost felt like she was trying too hard at times and all that stuff with the Current. That started to get a little bit better. I think she's going to be just a really good player for the Current in the future. But yeah, she has scored more goals per game type of thing for the national team. She scored for the U23 team a couple months ago.
Yeah.
She was the captain for them. So she's got a lot of good experience.
So, Cody, I don't know if you watched the match at all, but you might have gotten back on your goalkeeper spiel because the goalkeeper for Paraguay, she had some issues. She has some difficulty.
Well, clearly.
She allowed 2 near-post goals. It was not pretty for her.
No, I missed it. I was working, but I was getting all those notifications, and yes, clearly something was going wrong at the back.
But Claire Hutton, just turned 20 about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Boss in the midfield from what I saw, some smooth moves, just distribution. She played one pass from a left midfield in her own half, I think it was, all the way out to the right winger in the final third. I mean, even deep into the final third. It was a beautiful pass, just indicative of the ability that girl has. I'm just always impressed with her.
Yeah, she always seems to play like an older player than she is. Just mature and a good high IQ.
Yep. I've seen articles, and I want to write one myself, but just title it, it's Claire Hutton's midfield. And it is. She was bossing that midfield because all the more senior players were gone. And she not only bossed that midfield, but she was rewarded. Trinity Rodman got the captain's armband to start it because she was the most capped player. She was the most senior player on that team.
Wow.
Not oldest, but most senior, because Lowe is by far the oldest. But so she had the armband, but when Trinity Rodman subbed off, she gave the armband to Claire Hutton. So they had a 20-year-old, barely turned 20-year-old captain for the last 20, 25 minutes, whatever it was.
Wow, I missed that from that game. That's really cool.
So
Good for
Captain Claire played the full game, kicked ass. If he wasn't for a couple of those goals, you'd probably say you could say she was the player of the game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Izzy played well. She got an assist on the one goal for Sentner's goal.
Mm-hmm.
And Lowe played well.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing spectacular, but she
did her job.
She did exactly what you would expect her to do in the current midfield.
And she's getting to do it in that jersey.
Yep.
Good for her.
I don't think she's earning a spot into a World Cup, but you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah. Okay. We will be back next week. Sporting!
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.